Good morning, Exuma, and good morning, racing fans. Wherever you are listening to us, we're coming to you live from Elizabeth Harbor, downtown Georgetown, Great Exuma. We're here for the 66th National Family Island Regatta, and the course is set. The boats are here. The weather is right, and with me is my sidekick, Dwight Hart. Dwight, we are ready to go.
Absolutely, absolutely, Reg. And yes, I'd like to say good morning to all the racing fans assembled here in Georgetown, Elizabeth Harbor in the background, and to all those who are viewing via the Facebook stream, the National Family Island Regatta Facebook stream, and I think on Cable Bahamas at some point during this broadcast. Reg, it's another beautiful regatta about to get started. As you can see, the Class C boats are getting assembled in the background for those who are here on site, and we're going to get some racing started.
We're gonna go racing. Is what we say. Let's talk about this beautiful harbor. Elizabeth Harbor is about 7 miles long. The course that we're going to use today is a bit shorter than that. Winds are out of the north. Directly behind us is Stalking Island, for those of you who are joining us for the first time. And you'll soon see off to our right is going to be the lineup for the C class. They're going to start here in front of us, in back of us, and then they'll go upwind to a windward mark. They'll come back down to the leeward mark, go back up to the windward, and then to a reach mark, and then finish right in front of us again. So we're going to have a good look at the racing today, beginning with the C class. The wind is up. We thought it was going to be down, but the wind is up. We were thinking 6 knots. Right now, we probably have about 10, 12.
Yeah. Definitely picking up just a bit. We have just a little bit of an overcast sky right now, so there may be a little bit of rain happening at some point throughout the morning. But Reg, like you said, we've got the first C-class race about to get started, but we had some sailing yesterday.
So let's go talk about that.
All right. So
yesterday we started with the E-class in the morning,
Yep.
and that was kind of exciting to get started. And let's just run quickly through the E-class, Dwight. I think I have it here.
Okay.
We had a new boat in this year from Captain Buzzy Rowe, who's putting in a lot of new boats. I don't know if you noticed that. But he sailed Manowar to victory yesterday, followed by Chiron Darvel in Hot Mix out of Nassau. I'm just going to give you the top ones, and we'll run through these a little later. And then Cristino, Buzzy's son, was in 3rd place. So we had quite a start in the E-class yesterday, and then we went to C-class, and I think the C-class, you have that, Dwight, or do I have that? I have that.
You have that.
Okay, Zena was first, David Knowles, Whitty K, Stephen Knowles was second, and Bull Reg, again, Captain Buzzy Roll, was third. So we'll run down the whole field for you a little bit later. But I think you have the A and B class, Dwight. Can we have a look at that?
All right. Well, Reg, as we said, cup races sailed yesterday, and then the B class. It's the Governor General's Cup, and that race started off, I think it was kind of competitive initially. We had a little duel going on between the Queen Drusilla and the New Susan Chase, but the end result was totally different. The New Susan Chase sailed by Stephen Knowles Long Island. She got away from the fleet, and when it was all said and done, there was quite some distance, Reg, between her and the rest of the fleet. But as it were, New Susan Chase coming across in 1st place, followed by Lonesome Dove out of Abaco, and Queen Drusilla sailing out of Acklands. Stefano Kemp, very up and coming young sailor,
definitely, and sailmaker.
And sailmaker, yes.
Yeah, so interesting thing on Lonesome Dove, folks. She just had some work done that we like to talk about going under the knife here.
Yeah.
And she was just under Mark Knowles' knife, and actually came directly from there here.
Okay.
So it was anybody's guess as to what she was going to do, and she's right on. She's right in line.
Well, for the last 3-4 regattas that I've covered, you had 3 boats that really, on any given day, seemingly could win the B class.
Yeah.
The New Susan Chase, obviously, Lady Sonia, sailed by Buzzy out of Exuma, and of course the Lonesome Dove, Jeff Gale, and the crew out of Abaco. So on any given day, Reg, either of those 3 boats has a possibility to win. But right now, Queen Drusilla seems to come in the mix, and also Lady Natalie, obviously the boat owned by just recently departed Eliezer Johnson,
Lady in Red. The original Lady in Red.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She sailed extremely well yesterday. Because as a matter of fact, I think there was a time in that B class race when she also had a piece of the lead. But then, Reg, we got to the big boats, right? The big guns. The reason people come to Georgetown, to Elizabeth Harbor, make no mistake about it, is to see those A-class boats get sailing.
I want you to notice the smile on Dwight's face, and you're going to know why in a little bit.
My smile is only going to get bigger. It is only going to get bigger. But from what I'm told, Reg, and we're going to get just a little bit serious here, people who witnessed that race yesterday said it was one of the best A-class races that they've witnessed.
It was a good race.
It was a good long time. By those words and say that it certainly was an extremely well contested race, where throughout the course of the race, Reg, you had, I think it was either 3 or 4 lead changes, and you had at one point the Courageous leading the race. At one point you had Running Tide leading the race. But when it was all said and done, first boat across the line,
Tidal Wave.
Brooks Miller and crew out of Staniel Key sailed an extremely well executed race. There was a tackling duel going on, Reg, tacking duel between Running Tide and the Tidal Wave, but the Tidal Wave came across in first place, Running Tide in second place.
So this is going to be actually the conversation today.
Absolutely.
The rebirth.
Well.
Can we say
this was the conversation from yesterday. Right? But late into the night last night. Here we are again this morning. But yes, it's going to be a continued
It's going to be the conversation today. The rebirth, as it were, of Tidal Wave. Last year she did not do so well. Best at best she didn't do so well. And so the fans, and there's a huge fan base out there.
Absolutely.
Have just been waiting to see what the young guys were going to do with her and what Brooks was going to do. Yesterday we got a taste of what she can do, what the Wave can do. Now we have Running Tide and Tidal Wave head and head today.
Yes.
But the big story all through, and you know from the chats, the big story, ladies and gentlemen, has been the big dog, A1.
Yeah.
And what she could do and what she couldn't do. Yesterday she didn't have the sail to show out, and so
we're talking about the new legend.
The new legend,
yes.
The new legend, and so we didn't see very much, but we think that we're going to be able to see her today,
yes,
really show her true color. Let's really quickly, we just heard
the 1 minute gun.
Yeah, let's talk about that a little bit. Bring folks up to date. The C-class line is in place. The warning gun is gone, as you can see. There are 30 boats, Dwight. 30 boats.
Wow.
All set to go. And so we're gonna turn to that now, ladies and gentlemen, as we get this first race underway. Dwight, let's talk about the C-class and who we're looking at today.
Well, I mean, the conversation always begins and ends with the Widdy K. She is the boat to beat. She has been dominating C-class ever since she was built and brought on the scene, and so she's the boat that everybody comes to prepared to beat. Now, obviously, we've had some more knifing, as it were, plastic surgery happened in the C-class. Some of the C-class sloops since the last regatta.
And we have the start gun, actually. Let's just go straight to it. The race has started. They're away. And as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, the way we start here is a little bit different from international racing. We put the anchors out. We all get in one line. The gun goes. You get a warning gun, and then you just have the start gun. We all pull on the anchor, and then the sails go up. The idea is who can get underway fastest and away from the line, right? And right now you can see when the boats turn and they start to lean to one side, we call that the canted. And so you can see all the boats, or most of them now, on cant. The idea is everybody goes off the start line to starboard, and so they're going away from us. And the only boat that can go to our right would be the boat closest to us, or on the starboard end of the line. And that boat looks to be Warrior, and she's gone off to starboard, to port. All the rest are going to starboard towards Stocking Island. Good start. Don't see any, just one boat trying to get its sail up here.
Termite.
That might be Slaughter. Just here, trying to get her sail up right in front of us.
All right.
Sails up.
Everybody's off, Reg.
We're away.
No tangle ups.
Good clean start.
Looks like a good clean start. All right. It'll be just crazy to kind of say who's at the lead at this minutes before the boats start to stretch themselves out, and we get a better idea of who's in what kind of position. From this point, though,
well, we can't say yet. I mean, there's no lead right now.
No,
it's just everybody's. And what's happening here, folks, is you can't probably see the work out of that pack. You want to get to the windward of the pack. And one of the boats that's very, very good at this is 44, Witty K. So we're going to be looking for Witty K. We did mention at the start, Dwight, is Bull Reg has been under the knife.
Yes, that's exactly
and when she went under the knife, everybody said she came out at best at those speeds that nobody believed. Is she going to show that today? She showed some of it yesterday.
She definitely showed some of it yesterday, and Reg, you know, again, you have two things with the Bull Reg. Obviously, she's a boat that has won regattas and is known for speed, but she also has a very skilled skipper. Buzzy knows Elizabeth Harbour just as good as anybody else, and if there's any advantage, even better, and if there's any advantage that anybody's going to have in Elizabeth Harbour, it's going to be Buzzy roll, and so that obviously will be something to his advantage as they get sailing today. But as you can see, Reg, we've got some of the boats sailing out. Right now on your screen is one of the yellow boats out of Maritari.
Seeming to be having some problems.
Number 11 looks like
that's Warrior,
but
still having some problems. As you can see, the boats are going away in two different directions now.
Yeah.
Going to the right of your screen, the boats will be going on port, and to the left they'll be going on starboard. There's a rule in sailing that boats on starboard tack has the right of way.
Right. Explain that.
They have to give
what
way.
exactly does that mean? Because I'm out on the water lots of times, and you know I'm a little bit familiar with sailing, but I'm always confused about this starboard rule when you have 2-3 boats making their way to the mark, and you have one guy shouting starboard, 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 and sometimes they're a mile away from the marker and they're still screaming starboard, starboard, starboard. When do you have the right to claim the starboard position? Is there any set rule that says you have to be a certain distance? You have to be.
There isn't.
So who's right and wrong on this starboard?
Well, it's like two cars coming to a corner.
Right.
Who has the right of way?
Right.
We said the first car that arrives at that point has the right of way.
Yes.
So if you think you can cross a boat,
Right.
and in the way we're sailing today, the wind is in the north, so the boat's coming. The starboard rule comes from which side of the boat the wind is coming across.
Okay.
So if you stand at the stern of the boat and you look towards the bow, starboard would be on your right, and port would be on your left.
Right.
There's another way to remember that. If you count the letters in starboard, you've got more than 4 letters. If you count the letters in port, you've got 4.
Right.
So P-O-R-T and L-E-F-T go together. And
I got you.
So that's how you can tell. So if the wind is coming over
The left side.
you're on port tack. If you come over the right side, you're on starboard. So the boats today going towards Stocking Island would be on starboard tack. The boats going down the harbor will be on port tack. So those boats have to give way to all of the boats that are going across the harbor towards Stocking Island. Okay. So that's the basic difference. Have to be away. That's a judgment call, Dwight.
Right.
And that's where the problem comes in, because the judgment call is how fast are you going? Is it 1 boat length, 2 boat length, 3 boat lengths? The bowman has to really judge that and say to the skipper to pull, which means to go around the stern, or to tack away, or to hold your line.
Right.
Okay? And basically, boats should hold their line until you have to tack. Nothing says we can come almost to touching as long as we don't touch, because the basic rule is keep clear. No matter what happens, you keep clear. I don't know if that answers your question. But
Well, you know, I guess in a way it does. It's still, you know, basically it's a judgment call, like you said.
Absolutely.
I think the best way to ensure that that rule is applied properly, I would think, is to always have a committee boat positioned
always have somebody
at
positioned.
those buoys who could, you know, literally, if something happens.
And they're there. And you also have a roving committee boat as well.
Right.
But then the big thing, Dwight, is it's upon the sailor
Right.
to make that call.
Yeah,
It's
well,
it's
Reg,
a it's a
but you
sport.
know, in the heat of the moment, and guys
Yeah,
are trying to win. Hey, I'm going to call starboard if I'm 2 miles away from the booth.
and they
Make
do,
sure.
and they do. 2 miles away, you can
Yeah.
just barely hear it. Stop it.
Right. Well, we see for the viewers now. There's a view of one of the boats. Reg, can you pick out the name of that
I
blue boat? Is that one?
just
Is that one
really
of your
really
Exuma?
can't. If it's a blue boat, it could be termite. And
Yep.
if it's termite, I don't want to say this right, but that would be an Exuma Sailing Club boat, and so you know my affiliation there. It is
She
termite.
just got cut
Uh,
by one of the red boats.
that might be legal weapon.
Maybe legal weapon or one of the other boats there, Barbarian. Not sure exactly. Um, have quite a few boats. Red. It would help
Unfortunately, the
at some
boats are
point
going
Red.
off behind the yacht, the mail boats here, and it's difficult for us to see in the light. But what is really happening now, they're going down to the windward marker, and so you are seeing it on your screen. You will see when the first boat turns the windward marker. Today, they probably will be taking that to port, which means they'll be going around on the left side,
Yep.
and then they'll come back down, I believe, to this marker here, and then go back up if it's going to be too loud. So we're going to see the finish action and the turning action, and that's the exciting part of it when they turn the markers.
All right. Well, I could imagine, Reg, that there were quite a bit of bets placed last night. And I can tell you, I was up at the Regatta site until about midnight-ish, and took part in many conversations about what was going to get wagered today. But before you get to that, let's talk a little bit, Reg, about the history of the rivalry and sailing. Right now, obviously, the biggest rivalry is between the Long Island and Exuma boats.
Well, you know, I keep hearing that, but something happened at the best, that was very interesting. The Exuma guys sailing on Long Island boats.
Right.
And I saw on the chats from Magic in Black Point, is it?
Yeah.
He's a big Legend fan.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so those rivalries have sort of crossed up as far as the fans are concerned. And I don't know whether the rivalry is as strong as it used to be, because Mark knows has built so many boats.
That's true.
You know, they're in Abaco, they're in
That's true.
everywhere.
That's true. That's
So
true.
so what I think is now important is that fan base, which we saw yesterday, come boiling out once Tidal Wave got to the top of the line.
Yeah.
I mean, that just erupted. So maybe the rivalry is back in
Well,
the fan base.
But make no mistake about it. Make no mistake about it. There are tons and tons of sleeper Tidal Wave fans knocking around. And they may not show themselves if the Tidal Wave is in sailing
No,
well.
they
But let me tell you,
as soon as.
if she ever gets a lead, they show themselves to be who they are. But just a little bit more on the rivalry. Inter-island, yes. There's always been a Long Island Exuma kind of rivalry. Sailing not so big on some of the other islands. Obviously, we have boats out of Abaco, one
Yes,
boat, two boats out of Abaco, Acklands, one or two boats. But Exuma and Long Island, really the two main islands that
Have always been.
that yeah.
Used to be Andros.
Well, and so, but within Long Island itself,
There's a rivalry.
you've got that Salt Pond, Deadman's Key rivalry that is very much in effect. Comes out, Reg, after the third set, I think. And I'll say no more because I've gotten in a little bit of trouble before
Yeah.
for talking
But-
about my sailing friends in that way. But let me tell you, the best time to listen to and get involved in the rivalries
Was after the racing. But I will say this for that group of sailors. Don't mind them arguing among themselves.
Yeah.
They are a tight knit.
Oh, absolutely.
Long Island
Absolutely.
sailors and
Absolutely.
Exuma sailors are beginning to get that way. But Exuma tends to be a little bit more broad-minded in terms of who they will support. And so they will support a Long Island boat or an Abaco boat or wherever. The fans are that way. And I'm thinking that's very, very encouraging. But back to the C class, which is out here right now, we're looking to see the first boat come to this lower mark. We're betting it's going to be one of two boats, Liddy K, Xena, Gull Reg, give you another pick.
It ain't right.
It ain't right. Those are the boats that we sacrifice.
Yeah.
We expect to see coming back into the picture here
Yeah.
and coming to the lowered mark. And as I said, the wind has stayed up. This is surprising. That's interesting because a lot of these guys went out this morning probably with big medium sails,
Yeah.
thinking the wind was going to be down, and the wind is actually up. So it's going to be interesting to see how they manage the big sails with less weight and less crew.
Right.
Than they didn't anticipate this wind coming up. It seems to be strengthening too.
Reg, it looks like we have the boats now approaching the first marker, and you are absolutely right. It looks like number 44, Whitty K, is definitely going to, and there she goes, Reg. She has hit the mark, and she's around. And so Whitty K right now in first place. And we have a close second and third. Can't really make out the names of the boats going around in second and third right now. But we've got the first three boats around. We've got a white boat and that going around. And so we've got four boats now going around the marker. Whitty K definitely in first place.
So I'm looking for Whitty K, Xena. If you see a dark hull, looking for Bull Reg. Buzzy User is in there. And that would be the boats coming on the, what we call, they're running, we call on the bed, coming back downwind.
All right, so here comes your first four boats, again, based on...
We're having some difficulty seeing the monitored boats, the brightness outside, so bear with us, we will get those numbers for you in just a little bit.
But definitely is around in first place.
And the C-Class is a 17-foot boat. She has, traditionally they carried masts of 20 feet. They've matured to where the masts are now 40 feet. The booms are 20. It takes 5 men on a C-Class to hold her down today, and it would take 50% of the lead goes on the keel, so you're looking at maybe 1,900 pounds. That's total in the boat, plus the live weight on deck. And so that's what we're watching right now. We're watching that C-Class, which is the second tier up in sloop sailing. C-Class this afternoon will jump up to B-Class, which is 21 feet, and then A-Class 28.6. On C-Class, and let me just run down all the boats that are out there while we're at it, so that you can know who is on the water today. We only talked about the top 3 boats, but in addition to Whitty K and Xena and Bull Reg, we've got H2O, which was built by recently departed Lance Ferguson. It Ain't Right, captained by Jeff Gale. Sacrifice, very, very popular boat. Colin Cartwright is the captain there. Nearly Legal, Mark Knowles. Mark Knowles is the builder of most of these fast sloops. Comes out of Long Island. Bull Raleigh is out there. Don't know who's captaining Bull Raleigh today. Jermaine is on Hog Tusk, Captain Jermaine Lloyd. David Roll on Dream Girl. New Slaughter, Morris Roll, Chaser Lundy Robinson. And you're going to see Lundy again in both the B and the A class. Irene Goodnight, James Wallace, Legal Weapon, Leander Pinder, Termite, Brandon McPhee, one of our young students from the Exuma Sailing Club, is captaining her. I do believe that the young Bo might be sailing Termite today, and he's a name you're going to hear about quite a bit. Delano Bo. Flash by Denrick Miller out of Acklands. Barbarian, Delworth Gibson, Masons Bay Acklands. Keep your eyes on him. Keo. We've abbreviated that name, right? Hansel Roll out of Rollville, Exuma. Jacob Flatter, Dwayne Higgins of Mayagwana. Fugitive, Tyron McKenzie out of Rollville, Exuma. I don't think Tyron is set today. Sweet Island Gal out of Long Island. Keith Brown, just coming to the end of the fleet right now. Lady Eunice, Ralph Kemp. Warrior, young Cation Lloyd out of Barratari. Golden Girl, Tyron McKenzie. Bucktown, Exuma. By Gully, that's another one of our EFC boats. William Perotti, I've Tried, Huey Lloyd, Sally, Richard Ross and Salvador, King and Knights, Stefano Camp out of Acklands, Confusion, Trevette Smith, Bucktown, Queen, Clayton Smith, Rollville Exuma, and Uncle John, Alvin Gibson out of Acklands. 30 C class on the water this morning, and we're trying real hard to get for you who is doing what. So bear with us. We're going to see them come back into view right now, and we'll be able to tell you directly who's up front. Dwight is saying that 44 is up front.
Yeah, and Reg, as you can see, I think I got a quick peek just now of the top 3 boats, and Whitty K in that top 3. And there's a third boat in there that I can't identify at this point. As soon as we get that camera angle back on those top 3 boats, and if we can bring the top 3 boats back into our view, I think that will give us a good idea of exactly what's going on. And
I'm looking for the leeward mark, and it seems that they put it all the way back here behind
just behind them, up from the Peace and Plenty across.
Yeah, just in front of looks like Courageous anchored out there. So we will see them all if that is the leeward mark, and I think it is because I see the committee boat back there. So they're going to come right across us. Exactly who is doing what to whom.
Well, as you can see, we have a wide angle of the lead boats, and there's your top 2 boats right now.
So Dwight, you've got 44 leading. Right behind her seems to be H2O perhaps, and I can't get the other boat. No numbers on the sail. So those are your 3 boats coming right there.
And Reg, you know, if you take a look on your screen now, you'll see the lead is a little bit more wider than it looks if you're looking directly at the harbor. I think this camera angle gives you a pretty good idea of the distance between the Whitty K, who's in first place, and the second and third boat.
As Captain D. Smith would say, she has a commanding lead.
Yes. Well, I can tell you there are going to be some disappointed fans, I should say. And as you can see, a close-up right there, and that's the perfect camera angle right now to show you exactly who is in first place. And there is Stefano's and crew comfortably out in front.
I'm really surprised that Reg is not in this mix.
Not yet, Reg.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Yes, not yet. I think this is
on
going
the
to go back
first
to a second leg.
Yeah.
But I'm surprised that he's not in this mix, at least as far back as the 6th boat.
But Reg, you know, it's amazing that race after race after race, I mean, you could literally close your eyes and say number 44 is out front, and she does not disappoint. And so the question is, and that's a question that's been asked, and it's a conversation that's been talked about, is it the boat? Is it the captain? Is it the crew? Or is it a combination of all of those
Well,
factors?
Dwight, that's a good question, and I've studied this over the past 3-4 regattas. I've had the opportunity to watch Stefan up close and Whitty K up close in the Ball Ridge Regatta, which I ran for a number of years, and also when we did Long Island last year in Best of Best. And what it's come down to is getting a good start, getting out of the pack. When it comes to getting out of the pack, there are a couple of captains who actually maneuver those boats through the pack.
Right.
They don't just pull up camp and go off on starboard. They are actually working their way out of the pack to get to windward of all of the boats. Stefan has developed that to a very high degree.
Right.
He does it. Buzzy does it to a certain degree. But that's why Whitty K always seems to be out front very, very early.
Yeah, but you know,
The boat is fast. The boat
Reg,
is
I
definitely
think
fast.
I got my best perception on how fast boats, because there's always this argument about how fast these boats are going, whether they're fast, which boat is faster than the other boat. And I think the original Best of the Best broadcast that I covered, and they had these GPS trackers attached to the boats, and so you were able to see exactly how much speed they were going. And Reg, I was kind of amazed that through the three classes, C, D, and A, all of the boats are really sailing as far as speed is concerned, right around the same speed, bouncing between low 6, low 7. So not much difference in speed, but there's obviously a difference in
tactics,
but also how well you're able to hold that line.
Yeah.
And I think Willie K does that better than any boat out there on the harbor right now.
Well, she proves it, and she's around the bottom mark first and heading back up.
And here comes
your
your second boat around.
Second boat is around. We're trying to get the name of that boat. This is why we want the numbers on the sails, and we just can't.
I think it's Xena.
But it should be Xena. I know she didn't have a number on the sail yesterday, so that could be Willie K followed by Xena.
And then here comes your third boat going around.
I'm hoping that that's H2O, but maybe not.
And Reg, you're right, H2O.
Okay.
Going around in third place.
Is that Captain Buzz?
And coming around in fourth place right now.
Okay, can't tell fourth,
it looks like it may have been barely legal.
Barely legal, then, and behind her would be It Ain't Right, I do think. The black hull. The reason we're having a problem, folks, is that the race is a bit far from where we are, and again, we're having a little difficulty seeing our monitor here.
And there goes your fifth boat around, and your sixth boat. It Ain't Right in the mix. And Reg, I don't.
You want to say this one is over, and you don't want to say it this early, but
I'm not going to say that just yet. I'm not going to say that just yet. I've seen some.
Stefan usually holds on to a lead.
Stefan is usually good at holding the lead. Once he gets out front, he's the Tiger Woods of golf. If he gets out front, Tiger Woods of sailing, I want to say, he holds on to his lead.
Now here's the thing: when you come around this lower mark, the idea is to push up to windward, so that no one could get, no one could get on top of you. That means to windward of you. Stefan does that very well. So he's got a line following him now. The trailing boats technically should tack away now onto starboard tack,
right,
to try and
cause him to make a mistake.
Yes. I don't know that that's going to work today, because as soon as a boat that he sees is challenging him, he's going to cover and go right back.
Absolutely, he should.
They're going to have to go back here, because I don't think they'll get beyond Regatta Point. So all the boats now are coming around the lower mark. They're going up the shoreline, right across your camera, right across your screen, going from left to right. And they are now on port tack. The wind is coming over the port side of the boat. That hill you see in the background is Beacon. That's the Beacon on Stocking Island, and that's about 2 miles away. So it's just a beautiful, no, not sunny, but not totally cloudy. Good shade today. And first we see Xena tacking away.
Yep.
She's going to try to get
just
44 into little.
Yeah, going across Bull Edge. So we were asking about Bull Edge.
And there he is.
And there he is. And so as it looks, Reg, I'd say we still have Willie K in first, Xena in second, H2O in the mix, Bull Edge in the mix. So those would be your top four boats. Bull Edge looks to be sailing extremely well right now. She seems to have picked up some wind, Reg, and
well, she came out of nowhere, because we didn't see her in second going around the mark.
Absolutely.
So she obviously sailed on to Xena. By the way, Xena is being captained by David Knowles, who is the brother of Stefan Knowles in 44. So a little competition, little family competition going on there.
And I can tell you, there's going to be no easing up from either one of those guys. Brothers makes no difference when they get out on the water. They are sailing to win.
This type of sailing is so different from your traditional yacht sailing. These boats are all wooden boats. They're all handmade. You have no winches, no electronics. It's all mano a mano. You put that sail up by hand. These are huge sails, and only 5 guys is carrying a mast. Those of you who are sailors, you know exactly what I'm talking about. That is so over-rigged. They are so overpowered. It's unbelievable. If they turn over, there's only one place they go.
To the bottom.
straight to bottom. And they don't float. These do not, there's no buoyancy, no flotation in them. So they go down, and then you have to take the weight out and raise them. So again, a good look at the fleet coming full screen to you right now. The boat closest to the camera here is going to be Fugitive, out of Roll. Sailing her today. I don't know who is sailing her, but she's coming right into the camera, and probably going to attack about now. Here she goes. That's right. It's interesting to see where she ends up from. Opposing with Witty K, Reg and those who cleared all the boats on the dock and went straight down.
Yeah.
So something's not quite right there.
All right, so on your big screens now, you can see the boats maneuvering their way back up to the
Windward mark.
Describe is that the eastern mark?
Windward mark. That would be the windward mark.
Looks like there's a little E-class boat mixing up in there too.
Dwight, here's an interesting thing. Look at the boat coming to the camera right now, number 8. That's Slaughter.
Got Xena. Reg is what they're showing right now
on the screen.
On the big screen. Yeah, so we have to kind of concentrate on what's actually on the screen and not necessarily what's behind us. So there's Xena. Looks like she's just made a tack across, and coming up behind her, I think, and that's the Reg, Fuzzy Roll, trying to maneuver into position. So there's a good shot of the Reg.
Well, if that's Reg, then on top of that should be Witty K. Would have been the covering boat. And you can probably just see her in the background over the boom there of the boat on screen. I'm doing my best here, Dwight. I'm doing my best. So it's pretty hard to tell.
All right, and so on your screens again, you can see a shot there. It looks like Sweet Island Gal about to make attack, and so she's just tacked back just a bit.
She's now on starboard. The windward mark is directly behind our backs in Gaviota Bay, and the wind is blowing directly down to us. So they'll all, if you're chill today, you're going to get a good look at this race because they're all going to come right to you. Most of the fleet is back in the middle of the harbor. The lead boats are off to your right. That would be Witty K, Reg, Xena,
H2O.
H2O. Those are the four boats that are up front right now.
If I'm not mistaken, I think Sacrifice was also up in that mix initially. It ain't right. Out of Abaco, Jeff Gale and crew, also part of the lead top 10, I think.
And the wind continues to freshen.
Yeah, looks like it's...
And to draw a little bit more to the east.
I think what's interesting though is, Reg, we're sitting here obviously in an elevated position, and so we may be feeling something a little bit different from what they're experiencing down at the lower level, and also exactly where in this harbor are we getting this strong of a wind? Is it just on this side of the harbor?
If you look at the sails, first of all, because we're up here, we're actually getting more of what is on the water out there, on the open water. Okay. So they're probably feeling what we are feeling out on the open water. And if you look at the sails, you can see they're all heeling.
All full.
They're all full. They're all full. So it's a steady breeze. Yeah. And if you look at the eastern horizon, you'll see a couple of squalls out there.
Right.
Those are controlling the wind patterns right now. As they go away, and this is going to be interesting, Dwight, as those squalls pass, this wind's going to drop as it did before.
Right.
If you're on the wrong side of the course when that happens, you get caught.
H2O,
you know,
Reg,
it's gonna be
those guys all the way out on the pry trying to keep us steady.
Yep.
Excellent shot of
Yeah.
H2O, guys. That kind of tells you exactly how much wind is blowing out there. You've got 3 guys riding pride just to keep a level. Oh, look at that. Very close-up shot. Beautiful shot. H2O. You can see the name clearly.
It's a beautiful boat.
Yeah, very beautiful.
And a fast boat. It's very, very fast.
All right, and there you have now a rare shot of Sweet Island Gal. And she's chasing.
I'm looking for Slaughter in here, number 8, that was down in the back of the pack, looking for her to challenge as well. And don't see her at all.
We expected Slaughter to be in the mix. Obviously, she is the best of the best champion.
She's the best of the best champion.
So it will be quite disappointing to the crew at the Black Point to not be in the mix, especially on this first day. And in order to win a regatta, you have to get points. And so if you're not in that top 10, you could be falling out of it.
And I just took a look, this may not be on your screen, took a look at the lead boats. Widdy K is approaching the windward mark right now, and we're looking for Balreg to see whether Balreg caught up, what position they are. Widdy K is on starboard going across. I would think that Balreg likes to come in from the port side, so he might be just below her. That's H2O tacking now.
Yeah, we're going to get a good shot of that.
There you go, there's Widdy K.
If we can get back to that shot where we're seeing the buoy, it will allow all of the racing
Here we go.
to see.
And Widdy K is going to go around.
All right, and there you go. There's your shot of Widdy K going around the buoy.
And it's a starboard rounding.
Let's see.
Give it a time.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Still nobody.
12, 13.
Looking for the second boat.
14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Reg, you're not going to catch him.
Nope.
You're not going to catch him. The Widdy K is now.
Okay, here comes the second boat.
With a comfortable 30-second.
And can you see who that is, Dwight?
Lead going across. That's going to be Zena.
Is that Zena coming or H2O?
As she sweeps around. That's Zena.
That's Zena.
So
No number on the sail. Would be Zena would be second.
And
that was what?
about 45 seconds.
45 seconds.
And in sailing, 45 seconds is like
a lifetime.
Being lapped in a 100-meter race.
It's a lifetime. And folks, you see how interesting it is where those guys are sitting on the prize. On these prizes, when the boat is heeling, you're about 10 feet off the water. You have nothing ready to hold on to but the pry itself.
Yes.
So it's an art to just lock the legs and sit out there.
Yeah.
That boat heels and you go up and down, and sometimes you get your feet wet.
Yep.
But it's a beautiful way of sailing. And
Reg, I don't see the third place boat.
I'm thinking the third place is going to be Balreg. Should be Balreg.
If she's going to come around anytime soon,
it has to be now.
There's going to be absolutely no chance of catching the Widdy K if they don't get around that buoy. I heard a boom in the background.
Yeah, I looked around to see whether it was a gun. It's probably one of the boats doing something here.
Still no third place boat.
No, there's a third place boat approaching.
Yeah.
And that looks like Sacrifice. I think it's A1. A1 and C would be Sacrifice, I think. Better known as the Hog.
Oh, there. She's going to be coming right at you. And we're just going to wait for them to get up on the mark. And we got two boats And
Well,
Reg, you may be hearing starboard out there right now. We were out on the water because
well,
there's
there's
a
got to be buoy room here.
close third going around. And there goes your third place boat around the mark. 02.
Was there a touch?
And I think that's H2O. And then fourth place is around. Sweet Island Gal going around in fifth place.
And now we're going to have a bunch on the east, on the windward mark.
We got some boats, and it looks like we may have a boat who's just touched the buoy, and it looks
Buoy row.
like it ain't right, possibly
72,
hung up on the mark.
Black Hull.
Or is that barely legal? Barely legal.
No, Billy Lee was a white boat, so. So now we'll have them coming in close procession around that windward mark. The thing at the mark is that you've got to give the inside boats room to round the mark.
Right.
Unfortunately, when we have a zone around that marker, we say it's 3 boat lengths. Once you're in that zone, you have to hold the line through that mark.
Yeah.
Which means you cannot veer to port or starboard. You have to hold your line. And sometimes that doesn't happen.
There comes confusion. And let me tell you, everything about that boat looks
Incredible. She really it's not it's a nice looking hull.
it's a beautiful built boat.
But you were gonna say.
I give my good friend Headley Smith credit for building a very beautiful boat. But she's got a ways to go to prove herself out there. Headley says every regatta he's gonna get better and better. And,
Well, we have to remember now that's the first boat he's ever built.
Yes.
And hats off to it.
Absolutely.
The workmanship on that boat is incredible.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Similar to Queen
Yes.
that his brother built.
There's Sacrifice, there's Fugitive, all going around the mark right now.
Sacrifice was way down. I thought she was close to the mark earlier.
No,
Is that ball Reg?
and it's going to help one of these days if we can all have big numbers on these sails so that we can identify the boats properly. Right now, Reg, Willie K right now putting on a show,
Oh yeah.
and she's sailing all by herself. Those guys right now sipping tea.
BDK and Zena coming down here. Jess Sutter. As you say, sipping tea.
Are they going to be coming? I'm assuming they're going to be coming to the gun at this point.
They are coming to the gun, and I think they may have to come back here though, first to the lower mark, and then finish probably off Regatta Point.
Just in front of
Yeah, just behind this big Carib Warrior that's here.
Yeah.
But Dwight, it's a great morning. It's a beautiful morning for sailing. We have not big seas.
Yeah.
We have what we call a fast surface.
Yeah.
And just a good bump in the wave,
Yeah.
and good wind,
Yeah.
good steady wind. So the boats are moving along quite well this morning.
Yeah. No, and it's been so far. Looks like it's been a clean race.
So far.
Other than I think we just saw maybe just a slight tangle with the mark just a few minutes ago.
And it's crowded up there,
It
Dwight.
is.
It is crowded. You got 30 boats up there now trying to go around.
Especially in the middle of the pack.
Especially in the middle of the pack.
Especially in the middle of the pack.
Still haven't seen.
Well, I had a group
17.
of guys, Reg, who approached me last night, and I'm not going to call it. They had me to be the face of the wager
Uh-oh.
that Willie K would not win a single race
Again.
at this year's regatta.
Oh dear.
And they were prepared to put up quite a bit of cash.
Are you holding it?
I know. I talked the wager, but I wasn't prepared to put my name behind such
that.
a wager.
That's a risky business.
Because that one would be almost like cutting your head off.
Yeah.
Because there's no regatta that I've been to that Willie K has been a part of that she has not won at least one race. And in most regattas, she ends up winning all of the races.
For those of you watching, not here on the island or in other parts of the Bahamas or around the world where you're watching, Winnie K now has at least a 20 boat lead on the second place boat, which we believe is Zeno,
Yes.
as she's approaching the lower mark, and she will finish well ahead of the pack.
Yes.
This is a series race. Yesterday we raced the cup races,
No points.
no points. So today we're starting from scratch. This is the first series race in C class, and she's obviously going to take this now. She was out front, right? So I doubt there's any infraction from her unless she hit a mark because she was sitting by herself.
Right.
She certainly outpaced 17, Balrej. We haven't seen Balrej at this point, and Balrej was in second, really behind her on the tack around the mark here.
Yeah.
So something's going wrong there. But the gap between Xena and the next boat is maybe 40 boat lengths.
My eyesight does not allow me to measure that far, Reg, but there is a considerable distance between the second boat and the third and fourth place boat, where there's a little dogfight going on to see who's going to get the third place. But first place, certainly not in doubt.
Now you were saying earlier that most of these boats, you're looking about the same speed, not so much difference. So how do we account for that kind of a opening from all of them started at the same mark at the same time? Look at the this with you.
Good question.
It's got to be the captains.
Well, also, Reg, I also made the point that a part of the sailing, or a part of the boats, and how they compete is their ability to hold a line. And obviously, if you're sailing between 2 points, and one boat is able to hold that line tight, and the other boat gets pushed further away, you can imagine by the time you get to that second mark, a boat may have drifted off the line 20 feet, another boat may have drifted off 150 feet.
Yeah, what you're saying is the ability of the boat to go to windward.
Yes, yes.
And there's two factors there. One is definitely the boat,
Right.
but the major factor in that is the helmsman.
Right.
How deftly he can work his boat to windward.
Right.
Because boats don't sail in straight lines, as you know. They sail in a zigzag pattern.
Right, but sometimes, though, they, depending on the wind, between 2 marks, particularly on
a reach or check
on a bed,
or bed.
on a bed, you're going between 2 points, not any tacking, and you don't get pushed off a line too much. But certainly when you're sailing upwind,
Yeah.
I think that is where the sheep get separated.
Well, now
from
don't
wolves.
don't forget, Dwight. We saw yesterday on the downwind, they had some tacking. They were tacking to.
Yeah, yesterday was a classic. Yesterday was a classic. I think
You know,
we're going to be talking
that,
about yesterday's race for some time. I hope, Reg, that today we see a similar race. I would love to just witness.
Well, I know there's a whole lot of people like you, Dwight.
Absolutely.
Just you wait. But you were talking A class. I actually was talking C class. But we saw it in A class as well. So tacking, folks, is when the wind goes across the bow of the boat going to windward. Downwind tacking is just sort of pointing in a different direction. You might go from dead 90 degrees, 45 degrees one way, 45 degrees the other, but you're still heading in the same general direction.
Yeah.
So here comes Rudy K. We expect to hear the gun in any minute now.
Yeah.
And that's going to be the
Signal the end of the first points
well
race.
the first boat across the line.
Yes.
Well, we're going to be seeing boats for a little while coming through here. You can see them all filing down to the
Well, if you look at the rest of the fleet,
pretty stretched out.
They, Regatta, if you look at the middle of the fleet, when you look at the front of the fleet,
It's
you really
thin.
see that it was not a close race in terms of sailing.
That's H2O going there. So Xena would have gone by already.
No.
And that's H2O.
H2O in second place, you
Yes,
said?
it is. I do believe 90 is H2O. Just double check that for you right now. No, 90 is Xena.
Xena, yeah.
She's got a sail on today. That is Xena.
Can you check your sail number, Reg, for 32?
32 is going to be Bull Rally
All right, so
out of
Bob Rowley
Roeville.
in third place.
Sailing very well.
Sailed also. She came in the top 10.
Now, I can't remember who built her, but I know she's out of... Mark built her as well, right?
I'm not sure who built it, but I know
She's out of Rollville.
Out of Barratari.
Barratari. And I'm sure we'll get corrected in that pretty quickly, ladies and gentlemen, because boat building in the Bahamas right now, design, is a big topic. So we'll get corrected on that if we're wrong quite quickly. But she's sailing very well, Balrami.
And the boat behind her, Reg, sail number 21 or 51?
Don't get a little closer and be able to tell you. Do I have a 51? I have a 41. $55 maybe? There goes the gun. Winnie K's across.
Actually, the sail is C1, whatever C1 is.
I won't have that, Dwight.
It's definitely a boat out of Long Island. I can't tell right now the name.
Right here, the second boat that just tacked away. Is that Sacrifice?
Sacrifice. It is Sacrifice.
Okay, it's Sacrifice.
So Sacrifice is right now trying to hold on.
I don't know why he tacked there. Maybe he's not going to make the line.
He could make it.
Yeah, but he's not only tacked. He's
Sweet Island Gal is going to go right by him. He's trying to cover the position, but I think he's going to lose out on that one.
So here are your numbers, Dwight. 57 is next. That's going to be Sweet Island Gal.
Yes.
And behind her,
a boat without a sail number. Maybe.
Still looking for H2O.
Unless all of these boats themselves have to tack back in order to make the mark, Sacrifice may have given up.
I think she's given up big time, because now they'll have her on starboard if they have to tack.
And here comes, that's H2 that you were looking for, Rich.
Okay, without the number.
Who's just tacked back.
Okay. So obviously they can't make the mark here. They're getting some shifting winds.
Yes.
Watch the tack between H2O and Sacrifice. H2O and starboard, Sacrifice coming across on port. He's going to cross it.
Sacrifice is going to cut it.
Going to cross it.
And then here comes, is that it ain't right? Number 72.
72. That's a very fast boat out of Abaco. We thought she would be showing a little bit better this year, but she's not. Sacrifice crosses H2O big time. Still looking for 17. Haven't seen her yet.
She's coming down in the back middle of the fleet. She's in the top 10.
Yeah, she dropped back quite a ways. Is that legal weapon?
Having a fight with the fugitive right now.
Buzzy built both of those boats. Lady Eunice is in here. And that's the red boat coming across. In between her and Fugitive, which is 28, is Bulredge. And Chucky is real happy right now. Not going so fast.
Is Buzzy going to try and sail the Fugitive right into this freighter?
Oh, he will. If Fugitive doesn't tack.
That's like, that is what you call... That's what you call aggressive sailing, Reg.
Absolutely.
That is aggressive sailing.
But now he's going to be crossed by Lady Eunice. Get on the pry, guys. See, that wind has come up out there, and she's pointed up.
And Fugitive is going to just drop dead in the water. I mean,
yeah, she's she's in irons.
Reg, Buzzy should not do that to his hometown boy.
No,
he should not.
Hey, we're racing, man.
I'm going to have a conversation with
We're racing.
I'm going to have a conversation with Buzzy, man. That, he is so much more skilled than these guys, and to run them into that freighter, I don't know, Reg,
Well, it's a matter of chicken. Who blinks first, and Fugitive blinked.
She had to blink. She didn't blink. Should have been firewood.
Well, both of them had to tack. Both of them needed to tack.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm not too sure I approve of that kind of sailing. Not amongst your friends.
Did
Buzzy,
you did you
Buzzy
ever,
built that boat.
did you ever hear these guys say that you're my friend until the gun fires?
Oh, man, let me tell you.
And then there's no friendship here.
We got someone who, well, Buzzy may have.
No, that shouldn't be Buzzy. He should be long gone.
Maybe
But
that's Lady Eunice.
that should be Buzzy
Looks
out
like
there. Lady Eunice
Eunice
should be down here.
Yeah, she's misstaged just behind the freighter and trying to collect some wind again.
So unfortunately, we can't tell you who that is, folks.
She's catching herself, but still gonna have to tack again.
So there's Termite going right by Fugitive, heading to the line, and I think they're both on the lay line.
And Lady Eunice really suffering right now because
Yeah, she's not
getting any wind with those freighter boats blocking the harbor there.
Well, it's just Lady Eunice going out here. She's pretty good. She's gone. I think the boat behind there was a no. That was yeah. Here comes the boat that we were looking at. So they should all be crossing the line now. You won't hear a gun, folks.
Looks like Sacrifice
we just have
now.
one gun.
Sacrifice now finally coming back towards the mark, and she's going to be on starboard as she approaches the mark.
And I'm looking at 125 out there, Dwight. It's one of the Zuma Sailing Club boats, a new boat. New boat from Steve Smith by Gully.
Now heading bridge towards the line. 32 we said was.
What did I say? 32
28.
was.
I'm looking for 28.
28 is not Sacrifice, Fugitive.
Okay.
That's out of your hometown.
Yeah. And so she's now coming towards the line.
I'll see one with Sacrifice who said that.
Yes.
And New Slaughter. Did we see New Slaughter pass? Number 8. I think we missed her in that crowd that just went through. And when you see the boats at the end of the pack, folks, they seem to be sailing as fast as the boats at the front of the pack. But we know that can't be because they're in the back of the pack.
Well, you know, I got a call from a good friend of mine last week, and he had been out with Henry Smith on the Confusion.
On Confusion.
And so his question to me was, Dwight, how fast do you think C-class sloops sail? And I said to him, based on my experience with the best of the best, and you know that was the only time that I've actually seen GPS trackers attached to the boats, and you're able to register boat speed, that they sail between 6, 7.2, 7.3.
That's the top boats.
Like the top speed.
Yeah.
And so he said to me, well, wow, I have my GPS. If she's doing 7.1, at least she's able and capable of making forward speed. The problem is, though, is she able to hold a line?
Is she going to win?
Is she going to win with that kind of speed?
Actually, the boat is winning quite deep. I think right now the big problem with her might be handling. A lot of the boats, the big problem is handling.
Yes.
The experienced crews show it. They show it off the line. They show it at the turns. That's where the big difference is. And then Dwight, you can't come out here just to a regatta to race. You've got to be sailing all year round. And the guys who are sailing and going to the events and competing show that they are the top
and
people.
I dare say that is one of the advantages that the Long Island boats have over the rest
they
of
compete.
the islands, because they compete all the
All
time.
the time.
Stefan knows, and Riddy K is almost in every regatta.
Dwight, that's 33 going by us right now.
They're illegal? No.
No.
That's out of that Sacrifice.
No, it's the red one right here. That's not legal weapon, is it?
That's one of the boats out of Black Point.
Yeah, but it's not legal weapon. It's legal weapon.
Legal weapon, yeah.
Yeah, that's a fast boat. She should be in the top of the pack.
Yeah.
And you know what I think happened to a lot of these guys? Right? They went out with big sails on, and they couldn't handle it in this wind.
Now, is 45? Is that keep your
eye on him?
Because that would
Keel.
That would be my homeboy Jeffrey
Jeffrey McKenzie.
McKenzie out of Rollville, and I've been trying to offer Jeffrey some good advice for quite some time. I said, Jeffrey, stay off the boat. You stay on shore and let that boat sail, and that boat would sail. And he said,
You said that to Jeffrey?
He said to me, the day I'm not on that boat is the day the boat doesn't sail. So, Jeff,
here's something that happens.
Just try it
folks.
one day, Jeffrey. Try it one day. Just try it one day. Stay on the shore
and see what happens.
But I think he's afraid that if he stays on the shore, the boat's going to win.
And he won't be on it.
And I will be proven right that the reason the boat isn't sailing, I think Jeffrey's just got too much beer. He's carrying around too much beer weight.
Here's one of the big things that happens with these boats. On a day like today, you put on your big medium because the wind is going to be 6 knots.
Right.
You get out on the water and it's 9, 10 knots. Now, it doesn't sound like a lot of difference, but you can't carry that sail. And I think what a lot of these boats found when they were heading upwind, and Bell Reg might have had that problem. You can't tack.
Right.
You mistay.
Well,
You
see it happening right now.
Right now, Jeffrey. Yeah.
Bringing up the rear of the fleet.
And I think Legal Weapons had that problem all day as well. She's misstayed again as well.
Yeah.
Every time you tack, you can't
pick up that wind fast enough.
Well, the sail stalls.
Right.
A sail is like an airplane wing. It
wing,
flies.
yes.
So if that sail's not flying, it stalls. You're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
And so you're seeing that happen now with 2 boats right here. Both of these last 2 boats are in irons. They're not going anywhere. And so that's been the story of C-Class this morning, ladies and gentlemen. We've had 30 boats leave the line, 30 boats come back. We've had no infractions as far as we know, except that one I think we spotted on the Windward Market White.
Yeah.
There might be something there, but that is going to conclude the C-Class, and we will have the official finish for you a bit later on. But we do know now that the finish that we saw here would have been Witty K, followed by Xena. Followed by was it H2O?
I think we said H2O.
So we will get the official finish for you a little bit later on. For right now, that is it for the C-Class, the first series race. Now coming up in just a little while, we're going to have the B-Class. Now this is another one we can talk about for a little bit. Set the scene before we're probably going to take a break here, but let's set the scene on that. And so that's going to be that's going to be the B-Class race, and that's going to be at 12 noon today. Mm-hmm. And again, we have the half-hour gun at 12 noon, the warning gun at 12:29, and hopefully the sighting gun at 12:30. Tide is has been coming up. It's coming up all morning. Should be high around about 1 o'clock or thereabouts today.
All right, and so, Reg, we have 11 boats entered for B-Class, and so we're going to see those 11 boats get out there and start making their way to the line. Some of the crew members from C-Class obviously also sail on the B-Class, so we got to give them some time to get those C-Class boats parked properly, anchored, tied up, and then immediately make their way over to the B-Class. And that, Reg, is one of the things that causes the later races to not sail on time. Because you have some crew members that actually sail in the 3 races. I don't know how they do it.
A lot of them. A lot of them sail all 3 races.
That's a lot of sailing.
Actually, some of them sail E this morning.
Wow.
Some crews sail E. They sail 4 races a day. And that's difficult to do, folks. But here's the thing. There's still enough time for them to get on the line.
Well, not if you have to have 1 or 2 libations before you get. You got to give the guys an opportunity, Reg, to refresh.
1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6.
The salt.
Wash the salt down.
And the sun soaks a lot of energy from the human body, and so at the end of a race, you
need
have
a few.
to have a drink of water. You have to have some water.
Yeah, that's not what I thought you were going to say.
So you have to give the guys a chance to come to shore.
Get some hops. Get some hops. Get some hops.
And talk about it for a little bit, and get recharged and get back out there. But kudos to the guys that actually sail in the 3 classes.
Oh yeah.
Because, and like you
Folks,
said, some of them even 4.
It's not an easy drive.
It's not. No.
This is hard work.
Yeah.
And so coming up this afternoon, we're going to set this scene for you now. Susan Chase,
Yeah.
perennial winner.
Yeah. Don't count. Don't
Uh,
count out the,
let me
the Lady
finish.
Sonia.
Let me finish.
Go ahead.
Lady Sonia.
Yes.
Now, we saw what Buzzy did with Balraj. Folks, you didn't see it here today, but the boat is fast. I mean, we've seen the boat really motor. They've been very secretive about Sonia, okay? But she's been up in the yard. I know that. Okay.
You know, she
So-
suffered some damage
Yes.
in Long Island last year.
Right.
That Buzzy had to get fixed.
And
so-
she suffered some damage here when she had an
she's
accident
a pretty
here.
old boat. She's not a new boat.
Still fast though.
Yeah.
Now, did he tweak? That's what I'm waiting to see, because I want to see Lady Sonia and Susan Chase hook out here today. I also want to see Lonesome Dove in that mix today, and you will see it.
My money's on Queen Drusilla. I'm going with Stefano Camp.
Okay, so I'm gonna go a little bit further.
Yeah.
Do you remember a boat called Storrs Plumbing?
Yeah.
Okay, she's back. She broke a boom yesterday,
Okay.
but she's been over in the boon, in not the boon yard. She's been
under-
over in the
under-
hospital.
under
She's
the
been under
surgical
the
knife.
surgical knife.
Yeah.
Fast boat. So I want to see. I think Rick Taylor might be sailing her. So I want to see what happens with her if she got the boom fixed and if she's on the line today. And again, the wind is strange here. It's
Yeah.
back up
Right,
again.
it's picking up, yeah.
These squalls are still out to the east. So that's what we're looking at in B class. I don't know of any other boats in B that
Well, Natalie, the lady in red,
Natalie.
sailed a pretty good race yesterday also, and you know, she used to be a name that used to be called some years ago, you know, as a winner of the regatta. So we'll see what she brings to the table.
I'll tell you one. If the wind does blow, keep an eye on our boat, Tarianne.
Tarianne, yes, obviously.
The wind
yeah,
blows.
We haven't
we,
spoken about her.
you know, we get the wind.
Yeah.
But she needs the wind because she's a small boat and she's small sail. So we're looking for a good race in the B class this afternoon, folks, and that's going to be this first series race for B class, and then later on, Dwight's eyes lit up when I said later on because
Yeah. Let me tell you, Reg, I am waiting with the greatest of anticipation.
waiting with greatest of anticipation.
for that A-class race.
So that's it
Yeah.
for this morning, folks. We thank you for joining
I
us.
think that's it.
We're going to be back in just a little bit. As we said, for the 12 o'clock B class, we'll be back for that. In the meantime, if you're here, take a look around Georgetown. There's great food out here, Dwight. There's, over at the Smith Shack over there, we had chicken sauce this morning and stew fish. And the music is going to get going. The big screen is out here, folks, so that you can see actually what's going on. You don't have to really take what we're saying. And if you want to really experience Regatta, go to Regatta Point, where all the pundits are, where all the guys are telling you what's going to happen, the racing out there. It's great fun, folks. So welcome to the 66th Annual Nashville Family Island Regatta from downtown Georgetown, Elizabeth Harbor. I'm Reg Smith, and
I'm Dwight Hart.
we'll be back.
We'll see you at 12.